All the baby where don't woke me at, where don't make me feel like say I'm not man enough. I no get nothing for offer. So all me party will look down on me, where don't make me feel like say my life no go become something. And they walked away. All the people who promise for help me, they say come office today.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Season's greetings to all my listeners, and thank you for joining me. This is your favorite talk show, the Talk to M Show, brought to you by Mulku Suleiman Bangora in collaboration with Epic Radio. If you're listening to us on Epic Radio 99.3 FM, thank you so much for joining us. If you're watching us via the Facebook live stream, thank you so much for being a part of this show. Your support to this show has kept me going all this while. I really want to appreciate all you've done for me. Thank you so much, and happy new month as well. This is the month of December, the month of celebration, the month of spending, the month of having beautiful and wonderful times with families, the month of gratefulness and winding down and getting into 2025, into the next year. Thinking about what's going to be my next big thing, my goals, what are my objectives for next year. So this is that month that you wind down and also plan to get into another 365, days of chasing your dreams and achieving great successes. And if you're here today, you should be grateful to God for, keeping you alive and seeing another December. Thank you so much. I'm really grateful. The show, we have been so successful for the past couple of months, and we've successfully handled a couple of topics, and we recently concluded international education, and now we are going to a new topic, an exciting topic, and I'm so excited, to get into this new topic, and we are going to the topic of career choices, making career decisions, the journey of your career. That's where we are heading into. So we're going to spend a couple of weeks in December, and probably definitely we will go into January with career choices. We're going to talk to a number of experts. We're going to talk to a number of professionals. We're going to hear their stories, their journeys, how they traveled this path called life to get to where they are right now as professionals, what they went through, the struggles. And you would find that highly relatable if you're a young student, probably in your higher senior secondary school, or if you're a junior student, in any of the universities across the country or internationally, or even if you are in that part of your career and you want to pivot, you're looking at pivoting into something else. Trust me, you are going to benefit from these sessions, because we're going to talk everything about, the things that you need to know to chase your career, the things that you need to know to pursue your goals, the things that you need to know to pivot into something different, and how to identify what's inside of you and how to unlock all those potentials and chase your dreams and becoming who you want to become, or wherever you want to work in the future. So stay with me and stick with me. We have a great show for you today. You can also be a part of the show. You can send in your text messages. I apologize for all those people that have sent us text and we haven't read them. My apologies. Please send in your text. I promise you I'm going to look at them, read them to you, and if there's a question, I'm going to answer them. So send in your text on 079-994-993, or you can give us a call as well, so we can hear from you. You can share your experiences as well. If you have a question as well, we will love to hear those questions. 079-994-993. You can also be a part of the show. Stay tuned, as I have a great show for you today. You will love it. It's going to be fun. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back shortly.
I'm looking forward to a brighter future. I'm moving ahead. I never stop for nothing. I'm looking forward to a brighter future. I'm moving ahead. I never stop for nothing.
Welcome back again. This is your favorite talk show, the Talk to M Show, brought to you by Mulku and in collaboration with Epic Radio 99.3 FM. And thank you so much for being a part of the show. Remember, you can be a part of the show. You can send us a text message or call us on 079994993. Season's greetings again. And happy holidays in advance. And so today we have a great show for you today. We're stepping into, into a topic that is, I believe it's everybody, can relate to this one way or the other. At some point in your life, you have thought about this. And I decided to have conversations like this because we need more spaces like, such as this so we can talk about these things. For a while now, we either talk about these things when we are sitting as friends talking, or maybe we're just sharing, with your pen pals or your best friends, or maybe just sharing with your counselor or your therapist or with the pastor in those small rooms, in those small spaces. But I think we need to start talking about these things openly so that everybody can know that, oh, you too, you struggle with such? Oh, okay, I can relate. Oh, okay, yeah, I feel the same way. Oh, okay, this is how to, let's combat it and figure it out together. Remember, this is why the show was designed. We identify the problem, but we do not amplify the problem. We figure out solutions, and we do that together. So that's why we're here. So career choices. At some point in life when you were in school, you've been thinking about what do you want to do? What do I want to become? What do I want to become in life? I don't know where I see myself. This is a question that I will tell you most teenagers have in their head, and they struggle with it. If you're a kid, when we were younger, when they ask you, what do you want to become? You just call, I'm a pastor. Like my son, he wants to be a pastor. There are very wealthy pastors now in the world, so I'm not going to kick against it. Or if he wants to serve God genuinely without, being wealthy, that's fine. But I know he's just a kid. He's just, saying what he sees and what he feels. Sometimes they do that, and sometimes they really mean it. They grow up with it, and sometimes they just say it because it's fun. It's, they just want to say something. And over time, you grow out of it and grow into something else, something that highly interests you. At some point, he wanted to be a scientist, and at some point, he wants to be a pastor. So, so I understand. But this is a question that, when you are around 15, 16, it becomes apparent that you have to make a decision. Like, you have to stop playing around now. Now it's becoming realistic. You have to start thinking seriously, what do I want to become? In the future, what do I want to really do in life? What do I want to do? What do I want to do with my life? And we are not, at that age, most of the time, children are not fully equipped, with the information they need to make that decision. I will tell you I am a victim of this. That's why I am, so vocal about it, because I really want to help other young people, so that they do not make the same mistakes I made, or follow my path, or maybe have it easier. I wouldn't say it's a mistake, but have it easier, because sometimes when something happens to you, it happens to you for a reason. But I would want a situation where I give young people the opportunity to go and research these things, and they can see them, relate with them, and say, oh, okay, I think I have a direction of where I want to go to, or what I want to become, or what I want to do. And so that's, that's why I want to really speak about these things. You have, at that age, that teenager, you start, what I want to do, what I want to become, whose team are they go? Because senior secondary school education is designed in such a way that children are burdened with that decision, at the age of 13, 12, 14 to make a decision as to which stream they should go into. And that stream is basically guiding them towards a career pathway. And most of the times, young people go into that decision, they do not consult their parents. They do not really have deep conversations with people that they need to have conversations with. They go with their gut feelings. They go with their friends, peer pressure. They go with what they see out there, what society, tells them to do. They go with, they make decisions that, just because it's cool, quote unquote, air quotes, it's cool, or their friends regard it, oh, you will have fun. And they, they just select a career, and before you know it, it turns out that, oh, I'm going to spend 3 years in senior secondary school doing this and eventually go into university doing this, and I really don't like it. It becomes a really sticky situation. You don't know how to get out, and then it becomes very costly, becomes very devastating. Sometimes it can even be frustrating and causing you all sorts of anxiety and panic attacks, in school. So the first things first is, I think for the school system, they have to design a proper counseling sessions, for students that are taking the BK exams, helping them, ushering them into making career choices. That's not a decision that, should be left on the child to just take, and without any guidance, without any proper assessment, without any proper analysis, to be done by the teacher, counselor, therapist, or probably a mentor, and the parents as well. It has to be a team effort, to help the child. Some children, they're young, but they already have a vision of what they want to become. Some are blessed with that, tunnel vision of knowing me, not doctor, and become. At the early stages, they know exactly what they want to become. You cannot convince them you cannot talk them out of it. They know exactly what they want to become. But for some children, they don't understand anything. So we assume it's a one-size-fits-all situation. There are some children, right? They're coming from extremely poor families. They're coming from families where the mom probably is just a hawker, sells and pushes wheelbarrow and sells on the streets, and the dad probably works in the farm and then goes harvest and come back home and doesn't do much. Maybe they have like 10, 15 children. Children coming from such backgrounds really do not see, they don't have an example or see something that they really want to become. And if you're not careful, those children would not have a plan as to what do I want to become or what do I want to do in the future. And it distorts, it doesn't present them with multiple options. It doesn't present them with a clarity as to what they can become. It becomes a struggle, and becomes a guesswork. So on this program, on this show, for the next couple of weeks, we will definitely unpack these things, delve deeper into these things, some of these issues, some of these concerns. Like, how can we identify, the indicators that you can use to make career decisions? How can you, what can you do personally to help yourself make the right decisions in terms of your career? Where can you go for the resources that can help you make the right decisions, to become a better version of yourself and, make choices? And also, we're going to unpack the difference between the traditional career choices and the modern career choices that are out there. And as well, furthermore, we're going to talk about all those career choices that people frown out. They don't really look at them as proper careers, but actually they are the things that are really mostly valuable. So we have a vox pop for you. Now, we went out on the streets. We spoke to a couple of students, and we spoke to two types. We spoke to students in the senior secondary school, and we spoke to university students as well, a couple of them. We just to get a feel, just the pulse of what's happening out there. What are they thinking? What do they want to become? And why do they want to become what they want to become? What are they? What are their plans for the future? Just to get a feel of what's out there. I mean, it's just a sample survey. It doesn't represent the whole population, but it's a sample of what children are thinking, what young students are thinking, what university students that are in the junior stages or early stages, how they are thinking, how their brain works and how they see themselves. So just stay tuned. It's going to be like a 5-minute vox pop. It's very, very, very interesting, and you can hear the different perspectives. Some you're going to laugh, some you're going to enjoy, some you're going to really, but just stay tuned, and I'll join you and be back shortly right after the vox pop. We're going to talk a little bit about it, analyze it deeper, and talk about some of these issues.
I'm first name Melville.
So Melvin, where do you study in university currently?
I study history and African studies.
Where do make you study history and African studies?
Because since I will go school, I always like history, and I will also can say whenever I can at college, Now that's how we focus on more history, because at the end I want begin working at Ministry of Tourism, and stuff like that.
So Melvin, career-wise, wetin you want become?
Career-wise, I want to become a lawyer. I mean, the game done this since I was little, But say not so always how you plan something and so it happen. So one way or the other, I get a detour for can do history. I know say after I done by God in power, I will pursue me long. But career-wise, now that's not the profession way I'm really into.
So why law?
Because me and somebody way since I've been little, I like for help people and I like for see the advantage of people. And also before me daddy die, I be senior court clerk. All about anything and they say one day I've become a lawyer. Not so me only the game no more. My daddy in the game as well.
Samantha.
So Samantha, who stream you did?
I just say one arts.
When you don't done with school, you don't write to WAS, and you don't get your requirements, which university you want to attend?
Well, really, I don't get plan for attend uni alone. We want to go Oxford or Harvard University.
So what you want to study in Oxford?
Law.
Why law?
It's always been a dream. All that coats, want to be that big woman lady.
So when you old, when you don't grow old, what you want to become?
Want to be a fashion designer, really, and want to be a chief justice. I think it could go together.
Why?
Because being a fashion designer does not come every day, like once in a while. And being a chief justice is like reading and going to the court once in a while too, so it can go together.
Ransford McLean.
Ransford, where do you study currently in a university?
I did at the Faculty of Social Sciences and Law, Department of Economics and Commerce, Fabe College.
Ransford, where do you make you study this course?
Primarily, I got a focus that just being a student, that's been for become an economics or a commerce student. I don't really for doing an informed decision in terms of carrying out your career path, in terms of my business one for do and all. And for me, I think I can say studying at Fabe College, the right decision I take, though it's been challenging. And at the end of the day, all life will be a meaningful, create a meaningful impact on society.
Ransford, after graduation, what do you want to become?
Firstly, I'm not looking for a white collar job. I want to set up my own business. I mean, it will be a perfect business for compete with other business, and even I will shine other business. So I'll create that change in my society on myself and myself. Because longer days, gonna days for people always sit in an office and say wait for white collar job. But I believe if I do my own business, and it will be a great one. One way I go to employ other meaningful Sierra Leone, non-Sierra Leone for ensure, we create that change there, or give them food at their own table as well, where everybody they look forward for.
So, Mr. Ransford, career-wise, what do you want to become?
Yes. For now, me with the talk, I'm a student and also a journalist. Firstly, I've been always longed for become a journalist and tell a story. But now being a student, and I also want to be that CEO on your own business. By the end of the day, all I will create employment for the one that we think say, they're qualified for the job as first. Let them get their own story for tell. Say, that person will go study on the way at the end of the opening of small business and give me this job or somebody get me a little in that.
My own Fatmata Ebang.
So Fatmata, who stream you?
A commercial stream at the SCM.
So Fatmata, where you don't see twice done, you want further education or you don't want further education?
I want further education because like what is home, I don't for wait for me results, say me results come out, then stuff then they. Because I even say we not get requirements, like they don't change the syllabus right now. We not get requirements right now, but you go see private ones. Like me, so I go continue, not to go make a step down.
So which university you want to go after you want?
Well, I want to go IPAM.
So what do you want to go study in IPAM?
I want to go study finance and setting.
So why finance?
Because I want to be a banker, banker for counts money, for the money, check the money, then stuff then.
So where you all, what do you want to become?
Well, I want to become a banker, like a manager, like office, like for control the office leaders. Them I want to become.
My name Ada Faith Kago.
So Ada, what do you study currently in our university?
I study population and development studies.
So what do you make you study population and development studies?
Because I want to be a development worker and more so for specialize then street speaking them, waiting to make them go away from home and waiting can bother them so much where they lead them astray.
So Miss Ada, career-wise, what do you want to become?
I want to be just a development worker, possibly the right projects and all. Just that.
Okay, why?
I would say me that in an inspiration and at the same thing maybe they do likewise.
There you have it. It was a very, very interesting vox pop, but like you get to hear, the different perspectives, right? So let's just take a closer look at some of the answers that we got from this wonderful student. So we'll start with Melvin. Melvin wants to become a lawyer, but right now Melvin is pursuing something different. A call and detour. I mean, it's the right English for that, but it's called detour. But why does Melvin want to become a lawyer? He say in daddy be the work na court, in daddy na be senior court clerk. So we see how the things you see, they affect you subconscious. The things you grow up with, the things you live with. Is seeing daddy every time they go work. Daddy, waiting, court clerk. They go work. And perhaps sometimes daddy be don't take her 1 or 2 times, don't can't go to court. You don't see this well-dressed, highly intelligent people, see how they dress, how they look at the court. They don't watch, you don't see how, when the lead counsel and then they present the case, make their submission, the defense counsel, they rebut, defense counsel, they bring their evidences for rebut. It enjoy, the banter, they enjoy how the judge, they take over the votes, they enjoy, the prosecutor, they enjoy the policeman, they can team up around, they enjoy the court clerk and everybody. So, you don't see that. You don't register an eye. They say, I like this thing. Oh. That's the power of visual. That's the power of seeing things. And if young people them now at the early stages, we begin to take them to some of these offices and see how things they work like in the physical. I'm not talking about them where they can say most of the organization they can say family they then begin and go make boku eat for them. That doesn't count. It doesn't count. I'm actually speaking about the tour, where they take them, show them exactly what is this whole thing about. What does each and every person do? And they give them an opportunity for just sit or stand and just see and observe and understand. You wouldn't believe it how it would pick the interest of 1 or 2 people and say, I would like for be like this person. That's what visual does. So we look at the second person, Samantha. Samantha say, plan for go university in a salon. That's a big ambition, and I love it. I really love it. But Samantha say, and he want for do law, and at Oxford he want for go read law. It's a great ambition. Anybody can want to become for do that kind of thing there. But I wish we get enough time for interview Samantha. Because right now Samantha feels it because the SSS, they in secondary school, too early for him for begin, ask the questions, do the research. But if you ask her now, have you done the research? Have you started reading about Oxford? What are the requirements for go study law? How much it costs for go study law? And what you need for the exams that you need for pass for go study law? With Samantha now, if Samantha had a mentor, she has a mentor, and you don't tell her these things, the mentor's supposed for begin epa now. Begin to tell her the things that we need. Because if that's her vision, then she has to focus on it. If that's what she wants to become, you don't choose C1 for become a lawyer as a career, she has to focus on it. But alas, Samantha also say one for become a chief justice and a fashion designer. Now, I'm not the highest grade of weed in the dispensary. I don't want to see any chief justice turn fashion designer. It doesn't work. Please, I stand corrected. If anybody out there know of a judge, when a fashion designer and also a chief justice, please show me name, research, like research that person and also learn. Because I've never seen that happen. Because for so chief justice is not like it's not something you apply for, like you just come to school and apply for chief justice. Samantha has to understand that there is a process, to becoming a chief justice. And once you assume that role and responsibility, I don't think you'll have time to become a fashion designer. I don't think that's how it works. Because your job not even allow you for do such a thing like that, because you can be easily exploited, based on the role you play. So somebody has to really talk to somebody like Samantha about her choices, about her career choices. Somebody has to have a real conversation so she can actually see and decide. You can do 2 things. I'm not saying you can't do 2 things. There are jobs that you can do, and you can do 2 things or multiple things at the same time. It works. But there are certain jobs, it's very challenging to do two things. Jobs like, being a chief justice, it's hard to be a fashion designer. I mean, it's almost impossible. Okay. So, I mean, Samantha, you need to talk to someone. You need to have a sit down with the counselor, your therapist, your parents, or your pastor, or your mentor, to help you reshape, your career choices. And we spoke to Ransford McLean. He is a very eloquent, confident young man. He spoke with a lot of confidence. And he says, I think currently he's a journalist also. And but he also wants to set up his business and his CEO. See, that's some of the issues that I have with a lot of young people. When you ask them, what do you want to become? I want to become a CEO. Why? Oh, because I have this business idea. But if you check deep down, why did you want to become a CEO? It's just to have that on their complimentary card, nothing else. It's just to tell their friends, oh, I am the CEO of XYZ, and nothing else. Or I tell my friends that, I'm not the CEO, let me get this company. Or, have it on your LinkedIn ID. That's all why they want to become a CEO. Who says you have to become a CEO to become a businessman or to become wealthy? Who says that? There are many wealthy people that are not CEOs, but they are businessmen. They are at the back pushing these businesses, and they are at the back supporting these businesses operationally, sometimes financially, but they're not CEOs. They're not necessarily CEOs. So we place premium on title instead of the actual work that we are supposed to do, the work that is required to do what you're supposed to do to become, a successful young person, or choosing a career. We have sensationalized terms, names. We have, what I mean sensationalized, we don't make it so beautiful. I am a lawyer. Oh, automatically it creates a sensational air, an aroma. Say this is not a highly intelligent person. Oh, me not a doctor. Oh, wow, you save lives. You're not an intelligent person. You're not, me not accountant. Me not banker. But as you say, oh, me not mechanic. Our brain instantly tells us that, oh, this person is of less importance. Oh, me not fitter. Or me not, me not, like the other way, me not networking. Me not networking as I before do. We brain automatically tells you this person. We have a way, our society has created a culture of strata when it comes to defining and designing career terms and career structures. We tell yourself, as you call certain careers, say, this is of a less importance, or this is of no importance, this is of zero value. And that is the biggest mistake we ever make. We focus on titles, so more sensationalized titles, and make it so romantic, romanticize and make it nice. Instead of actually the people that are making the changes, the people that are actually brilliant, that are actually doing the work, focusing on those people, we focus on all of those titles, so it actually affect, the reason why most people make career choices. And then we come to this other lady, the last one, Fatmata. Fatmata said in a commercial stream, and you want to go IPAM, and you want to become, you want to read finance sector now, IPAM, and then you want to work in a bank. It's a whole. There's so many things going on here, in a commercial stream. Perfect. I don't know in cause what they do. But you say you want to read finance sector in a bank, IPAM, and then you want to become a banker. Clearly to me, I don't think it don't ever go to IPAM and go look at them brochure, look at the courses they're willing to offer. See, and even talk to admissions officers. She hasn't done that yet. I don't think it don't ever get exposed to them things in this. So right now, it think say, oh, now this I need to go read for work in a bank. And automatically where she ended, oh, I want to be bank manager for control office leaders. I mean, it's all these beautiful things, but what we look at the destination and we don't look at the journey. So in her mind now, it sounds so good. Say, oh, I want to become a bank manager, and the problem with that, that's okay. First of all, it's a great ambition in life, but the problem with that ambition is You need somebody where they actually tell you the journey where you need for take for become a bank manager. You don't just get up from school and become a bank manager. I've never seen that happen. Unless you're some kind, I don't know, some kind, disruptive genius. You come up with some kind of solutions where they really need you. Then you might be hired as a consultant, not as a bank manager. So there is a path you have to take to becoming the bank manager. Now, that path is where the gap is. So speaking to these people, I've heard a lot of gaps, that needs to be filled. And this is why we're having, this kind of conversations. How can we help these young people? Because if we allow these young people to go into the higher education system and with the same ambition, and when they get out of the higher education system, that ambition is going to heighten. It's not going to reduce. The ambition is going to heighten. And by the time they finish school and then they start facing reality, that gap that we haven't told them about, and then things become very, very challenging. Like, oh, that's what the world done, that's what the universe done. Nobody told me about these things. And then, assuming she starts working in the bank, and then we'll send her as cashier first. Then the first 2-3 months, it is short. And the cut by salary for pay the short. Now they gains life. And he works Saturdays, and then off till 10 o'clock. And by the time I don't tell I'm not able again. These are actually the realities of life. If you ask bank managers, most of them went through that. So, but these gaps are there because they need to tell them earlier on about the processes it takes to become. We skip to the end, the beautiful side, the name calling. So that's why most people now want to become a lawyer, because when they hear a lawyer, it's like, oh, I don't go through all the crucibles. I'm now a lawyer. I'm now a doctor. I don't go through. It goes beyond that. So that's why for me, I know they focus more. I know the lawyer, let me lawyer, but one can't kill me. I'm not really targeting lawyers and doctors. I'm just saying we place premium on names instead of the actual doing, what we actually do to change lives, to improve lives, the work that we should do. In addition to that, we do not really explain to our kids, to our children, to our students, the processes it takes to becoming these powerful people, to achieving your goal, to honing in and becoming, okay, this is my path, this is my career path, this is who I am. We do not teach people, we do not expose them. So, in summary, we're going to take a short break, but in summary, we saw a gap in between, well, not a gap, but we saw the advantages of a visual. When a kid, he lived with his dad, he saw what his dad did. That inspired him. Oh, another one also wanted to become a development officer because her dad is currently working as Her dad is currently working as a development worker and as a development person, and then now she wants to become a development worker. You see how her dad is inspiring her to becoming the same person, and she wants to start working on projects. She understands that because her dad keeps talking about that all the time at the home. So visuals are very powerful. What the kid sees is what they will mostly become. You have to be careful. If you're a parent out there, do nothing. You don't house all day. You get picked away to go to school. Jack, they do. Be careful. You are actually influencing your child to emulate you, to become like you, and that's not a good example for you picking for C. And also, we see how the gap in terms of lack of information in these universities, how it did. They don't understand which are the admissions, which are the requirements. They don't understand some of these roles, what they do, and how long it takes. Most people do not care about the details, but the devil is in the details. We don't care about details in this country, but the devil is actually in the details. So you should stop and start listening, hear those details, and then learn about them, and you make the necessary changes. We're going to take a short break, and we're going to come back, and then we continue on.
And they walked away. All the people who promised for help me. They say come office today, tomorrow, next tomorrow. The story not just the same, but I refuse to give up. I kept on hoping, I kept believing. Now everything don't change. Me wanna see me life now. It don't get turned now. Famous standing name now. You know go fit say, you know me now. Anytime I like a flight to Dubai now. Hey, with me baby now. Anything I like, I buy now. Turn up, cause me I let it turn down. And let it run down. I'm looking forward to a brighter future. I'm moving ahead. I never stop for nothing. I'm looking forward to a brighter future. I'm moving ahead. I never stop for nothing. For this one where we did, people go come inside you live.
Welcome back again to your favorite talk show, the Talk to M Show, brought to you. I'm your host, Mulku Sulaiman Bangura. The show is brought to you by Epic Radio in collaboration with Mulku. And if you're listening to me on Radio 99.3 FM or watching me on Facebook, thank you so much for being a part of the show and for joining me. We started a new topic this month, and we're going to focus on career choices and what do we need, the information that we need. How do we reshape or pivot? How do we become what we want to become? All of that we are going to figure out. Now, listen, me when they talked on us, so I haven't really figured out my career pathway. So I'm still working towards that. So I'm not perfect. So this is what we're here. We're here to try to figure things out together. And maybe by speaking to you, I will help you figure that out, or you will help inform or advise or talk to your kids, your uncle, your nieces and nephews, and anybody out there, or your mentees. Just help them in terms of the decisions and the information that they need, to make the right decisions to becoming and choosing a career pathway. Thank you for being a part of the show. You can also be a part of the show by sending a text message to 079-994-993, or you can send us, or you can call us on 079-994-993. Let's talk and let me hear some of those challenges that you have, and maybe I'll give you one of two advices that I've received over time and which might help you. Now, before I start giving you some of the challenges that actually, because it's very fair across the board to recognize the challenges that some of our students are experiencing, that they have. That's, I would say, it's a fair assessment to say these are existential issues, they are threats, they are actual challenges that our students are experiencing when they're making choosing a career pathway. I need to highlight them, but also this program is not here to amplify issues. We would figure out how can we get past some of these challenges. But before I speak about those, I just want to make this known also. There are a few people in this world, they're called polymath. There are a few people in this world, they're called polymath. Who are polymath? Polymath are people who, they are afraid to be in a box, to become one thing. They don't want to be a civil engineer. No, they don't want to be a mechanical engineer, or they don't want to be a cybersecurity expert. They want to be a fashion designer, a cybersecurity expert, a graphics designer, a DJ. They want to be a mechanic. They want to be if you notice, they don't want to be an expert in those things. They just want to know how these things work and use those transferable skills to pursue what they want to pursue. Those are called polymath. There are people actually who are like that. And that's fine. That's okay. Just that you have to figure out how do you make money with all those skills, because that's the objective. If money is not your objective, which is also fine because we are all here for different reasons, how do you serve people with your skills? And how do you serve humanity with your skills? That also perfect. Because we always make the mistakes that, everybody's chasing for the same thing. Everybody wants money. Everybody wants to become rich. Not everybody wants to become Bill Gates. Not everybody wants to become the next Elon Musk. Not everybody wants to become, those billionaires. No, it's not for everyone, I'm telling you. Some people just want a simple life, and that's fine. You define success according to how you define success. It's still okay. It's still perfect. So some of the challenges, coming back to the challenges, lack of self-awareness. I think this is, how do I put it? If you really want to become somebody, you want to make a choice in your career, you have to start asking yourself, who am I? Do a deep introspection of yourself. And for you to be able to do deep introspection, I had a conversation with a bunch of kids on Thursday, and this is what I said to them. If you really want to do a deep introspection, block all the noises. Stop all the noises. Stop all the distraction for at least 30 minutes or an hour, and just be in your head to think. What we do constantly, wake up in the morning, grab our phones, some people don't even pray, and they start scrolling on their phones. TikTok, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, WhatsApp, constantly scrolling. After all that scroll, they put the phone down, go, take a shower, brush their teeth, comes back, apply whatever lotion they have, grab their phones again, continue scrolling right from where they left off. Scroll, endless scrolling, endlessly. After that, go make food, come back, sit down, eat, and whilst they are eating, they're still scrolling on their phones and talking to their friends. They eat, the food be flying from their mouth out there, flying all over the whole place. They will still be on their phone scrolling. Take the bone, chew the bone with their soily hands or whatever dirty hands. They still apply it on the same phone. They're still scrolling. After that, put the phone down, wash their hands, come back, continue scrolling, scroll and scroll. You keep on doing that, and then you are tired. I sleep. Before you know it, you're knocked out. Bum. You sleep. You wake up again. The first thing you do, grab your phone, keep scrolling. Then you eat lunch. Before you know it, you spent almost 18 hours just scrolling, endlessly, laughing, playing, looking for funny things, looking for the kongosa, things that you can screenshot and show your friends and laugh about, just idling around. And then the next day, you repeat. After that, you repeat the next day. If you have to go to school, you go to school, teacher try done, and all on my phone. In fact, sometimes the lecturer will be lecturing, you're still on your phone scrolling. This is amazing. How phones are beautiful things. Social media is an amazing tool, but it has ultimately destroyed and is currently destroying the very social fabric, the very inherent abilities in us to just sit still, block all the noises, and think for 1 minute. That is why people are afraid to be in their thoughts. If you really want to develop a sense of awareness, take that phone, put that phone down, lock or close that room, do whatever. If you can meditate, you meditate. If you can pray, pray. It starts there. And after that, just block all the noises. Just sit there. Talk to yourself. Have a conversation with yourself. Stand in the mirror if that makes you comfortable. Look at yourself and fall in love with yourself. And then start asking, who am I? What do I know how to do? What skills do I have? What do I need to do to become a better version of myself? What is my dream? What am I envisioning for myself? Learn to ask yourself these questions as young people. You have to be self-aware. I mean, whether you like it or not, as you're growing up, you are not going to avoid responsibility. Impossible. I mean, you're going to grow up. You're going to become an adult. And adulthood comes with responsibilities. You will face them head on. And you have to get ready for that time, for that period. But for most of us, it's easy to put the blame on other people for your failures in life. It's easy, it makes us sleep at night instead of taking accountability, saying I've spent years not actually doing any self-reflection, any introspection as to who I am and what I want to become. What vision do I have for myself? I can't stand still. I can't sit still. I can't block the noise. I keep moving. I keep... Stop all that moving. For 1 hour, spend 1 hour or 30 minutes with yourself and think, who are you? What do I have? Not to pass you get money, but what did God put inside me? What's inside of me? What skills do I have? What abilities do I possess? How do I stand out amongst my friends? When I stand or sit or amongst my friends, what do they tell me that I'm really good at doing? What stands out? Once you are able to identify these things about yourself, and then what happens is you begin to get a clear vision, a clear path as to who you are and what skills do you need to heighten, improve, and hone in on. That's like the next stage. I can't help you. A mentor cannot help you if you yourself don't know who you are or what you want to become. It's impossible. I like go to mentor. Now them Bokuna church today, they go at God in it. You want something, but you are not even specific. Some people, when they pray self, they don't even pray specific prayers. They tell God, me, I want to succeed. How? What you want to do for succeed? Be specific. Pray specifically. No, can I ask God in for beginning to go through your inbox and check exactly what you mean? No, be specific. That's exactly. But how can you be specific? Is if you learn to do self-introspection, if you learn to read the Bible, read books, listen to people that are smarter than you, spend time, just learn things. I know it's not for everyone. I know it's not for everybody. I know some people in destiny and for turn kush smoker. Some people in destiny and for turn houseboy and house girl. It's okay. You can serve humanity. That's fine. But I'm speaking to you out there listening to me that is struggling to identify yourself, that wants to become somebody in the future, somebody bigger, somebody higher, that have bigger dreams. Or somebody who's struggling to even dream. That is you. Pause for a minute. Get some self-awareness. And then you can take it from there. The next stage also demands work. But that's something we can talk about. The next thing, seek information. Limited information can affect you. I just said this. Learn to read. Spend an hour. Okay, there are most people, in this society, Salon, it's very difficult for people to actually open books and read. If you are not, if you're not used to it, when we're young, to read 1 hour per day. It's very challenging for you to really we don't go frog no pull till we're young, not way old. A art for read. But guess what? There are people who can actually learn by just listening. There are multitudes of audiobooks now. Go to Amazon, download Audibles. Sign up, very affordable. You can go get your card, sign up for Audibles, and then guess what? You can actually have access to a plethora of information, books, anything you want to know. Just type them, you go see the book, and then you start listening to these things. Spend 1 hour every day listening to something. As young as you are. Not wait till you don't old. Not wait till you don't pass 25. 1 hour, just listen. Amass enough information every single day and improve. So limited information can limit your potential for choosing a career path. Also, go YouTube. Type anything on YouTube now. You can be listening to it and doing other things. Have an iPhone or something. Put on a ears. That TikTok way or that Congosa, then blogger, then all they they talk, the Congosa talk. All day you get you patience, they don't listen to them people and they talk Congosa talk. Till you know they elevate you, help you in any way. They bring money to you, they give money. Nothing for normally you get something for say where you company and they talk. Now that's not your life. Is that what you want to choose, what you want to become in the future? No. Listen to audiobooks, listen to YouTube, learn something. Not doing business, I don't care. It's going to affect you, whether you like it or not, you will be affected. So why not just face the reality and accept it? Parental and societal expectations. Number 3. This is mostly coming from, it's a challenge for most children or kids. We come up from a family of, let's say, lawyers or doctors or a particular profession, and they want you to follow through with that profession. Like, for instance, my dad was a police officer, right? He worked in the force for all his life, spent over 30 years working, and he died in active duty. Actually, continue to rest in peace, Dad. The late Soy Samuel Bangura. When I saw him every morning, I saw the struggle, what he went through every day. Every day I got to see that. I was very intentional about saying, there's nothing wrong with becoming a police officer. There's nothing actually wrong with it. But I told myself, if my dad is going through all of this to becoming successful or to help me grow, I think I should challenge myself to even do better than him in life. I used him as a benchmark to motivate myself to do better than him. Now, you have parents that says, oh, you have to go and become a policeman or a police officer. My papa be tell me say policeman I watch my work. Now so be tell me. I don't know why he was saying that. He said, Bobo, policeman and security work. He said this work will pass this uniform na no more make. See that we go na guide all you to go guide people, all you to go ala. That was what he used to tell me. But I know now the police force has evolved so much. Now you have, the professionals, the lawyers, the doctors, the chaplain, the musicians, and I mean they have so many departments. Those in engineering, it's evolved. They have professionals working in the police force, and I don't know why he was saying that to me. Maybe because he did not wanted me to become a police officer. He wanted me to elevate even higher than the role he was in, the role he was playing. He wasn't a university graduate. He was not. So I saw that as a motivation that I'm aiming higher than him. So I'm saying all of this to say you have families where if they have a tradition, every boy picking for turn lawyer, and you must become a lawyer. And if you say I want to become something else, it becomes a problem. It becomes a struggle. It becomes a real challenge. The other day we had the director of DSTI, Malik Tijansi, and he shared his experience with us. Coming from the Tijansi household, almost all of them were lawyers. And then he said, no, I'm not going to be a lawyer. I'm going to be an IT person. And that became a real problem for him in the beginning. He had to he ran out of his house and ran to South Africa, packed his bag, took a plane, go to South Africa. He didn't even know where he was headed. And he didn't have taxi money to go to the university he applied to. But he found his way there. He wanted to be there. So this is exactly the kind of challenges some people go through. They are afraid to take that path to be the disruptor. They are scared. So that can actually hold you back to becoming who you really want to become. So what some kids would do is they will go through and become, whatever their fathers or their mom said they should become. And then they're like, Mom, okay, you wanted me to become a doctor. Now I'm a doctor. Here is your degree. Let me go do what I want to do if they have time and they have the money to. Some people do that. Why some will say, Mom, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to be who I want to be. And sometimes they face a lot of, backlash from their parents. That's a challenge. That's a real challenge. And I want you to understand that we recognize that as a challenge. But at the end of the day, and ultimately, you have to really have a tunnel vision of what you want to become and pursue that. The next challenge that I know is economic uncertainty. Of course, as Salawadi, Sierra Leone is economically uncertain. On every avenue, we all know that. It's a very economically uncertain country. So we know what happens in here in the country. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We don't know how much the dollar go down when it go up tomorrow. So that economic uncertainty provides us with, what do I really want to become? Like, what's in there did it for me? We hardly actually spend time to study, what's actually going on right now. For instance, for example, we are having companies coming into the country, a lot of companies coming into the country, and you have the mining companies coming in. You have the production and manufacturing companies coming in. There's a steel manufacturing company that the president commissioned, I think, 2 weeks ago or something. The mining companies are ramping up. We have a number of projects that are coming in. If you are a student and you are seeing that, you're already in university or you're about to go to university, what's your vision? How do you actually spend some time to say, okay, let me study this movement, this trend? And because this is where we are headed. There was a time when we had a lot of geologists. There was a time, first of all, we didn't have geologists. And then over time, we saw a rush in geology. A number of students went to pursue geology. And then the mining companies start, leaving. They left. Most of them left. But again, they're coming back on. Now, those students that did pursue geology, they still have jobs. They might, maybe for a year or two, they couldn't work, but, because of the mining companies are coming back up, they still have jobs. They are the first people that they will look at because now they have the experience, they have the expertise, and now they're working there. How are you studying the trend and preparing yourself for the workforce? They need expertise. So study, what's happening. Be very mindful. Be very, my pastor used to say, Pastor Bassi, he always says, study men and things. Study the things. Study what's happening. And you adapt accordingly. The next challenge is the fear of failure or regret. I know most of us, we are afraid. We are scared. Oh, I know I'm going to choose this thing. I will regret her. I know I'm going to begin to choose this thing. I say, I want to be this person. And then at the end of the day, I fail at them. Or, becoming a lawyer is very challenging. I go to law school. I go get Division 3. Lord have mercy. I don't fail. I need to go to law school. How many parents will see me? We are afraid of failure. We are afraid of becoming the what we don't want to become. And actually society has painted failure as the end all and be all, like a destination. And failure is actually not a destination. Failure is actually part of the journey. You have to fail to become successful. You have to. All the successful people in this world have failed miserably. The Elon Musk will celebrate failed miserably. When he started with PayPal, they almost ousted him as one of the CEOs of PayPal. He failed a number of times before he became the Elon Musk that we are hearing. Steve Jobs, they took his company, they took Apple from him. Yes, he was ousted. For a number of years, he wasn't the CEO, it wasn't part of Apple. Before, they say, okay, come back because of your ingenuity and your persistency. So, the most successful people have failed several times. You have to fail. Failure is not a bad thing. When you fail, you learn from that failure, and then you continue, you keep on going. So do not be afraid to fail. Do not be afraid to try new things. Do not hesitate. That's part of actually identifying where you want to go and what you want to become. Overwhelming choices. I spoke about polymath, being a polymath. Number 6. I want to be an engineer. No, I want to be graphics designer. I'm not sure. I don't go lecture. I want to be a teacher. Like go lecture at college. No, I want. So you have so many choices because you actually possess these skills. I want to act. I want to become an actor. I want to become a musician. You possess the skills and you see yourself doing these things, and you are like you're confused. These are actual challenges, but because of time, I'm going to stop at this one. Number 6, I have 10 challenges, and in subsequent programs, we're going to finish the rest of the challenges, the four challenges, and talk about how do we overcome some of those challenges. And then by next year, I promise you, in January, I'll bring you guests that have overcome some of these challenges, and they're currently pursuing their dream, their vision. They will share their journey of the challenges, the difficulties, how dreadful it was. What did they do? How did they overcome some of those challenges to becoming who they are in society today? So you're not alone. You are never alone. All of what I'm saying is highly relatable. There you have it for today. I'm sure this introductory session gave you an idea of what you need to do. The challenges that are actually present, they are clear and present. But also, how do we figure out ways around these challenges and pursue what we want to pursue? You are not alone. We are with you. We will figure this out. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. I have been your host, Mulku Sulaiman Bangura. Like I always said, or like I always say, I'm not an expert. I'm just somebody who's willing to share his experiences, share what he's learned, and also talk to people that are smarter than me. Also listen to people that are way experienced than me and learn from them. And what I learn, what I know, I will share everything to you. Thank you for being a part of the show. Thank you for joining me through Facebook or listening on the radio. And until next week, see you again on Tuesday, 8 p.m. for another episode of your favorite talk show, Talk to M. enjoy your December responsibly. Thank you. Good night.
Famous and the name now. You know go fit say you know me now.